Hi guys, I'm Katie with OceanCity.com, and I have the pleasure of being here with one of the guitarists from ALO. Lebo, how are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm excited for the festival this weekend.
I know everybody here in Ocean City is talking about it. We can't wait for Ocean's Calling that starts tomorrow. Let's get started. Can you tell us what ALO stands for?
Yes, it stands for the Animal Liberation Orchestra. And
And what does that mean?
yeah, right. Of course, there's a lot of ways you could take it. I'll tell you the origin. How about that?
Sure.
When we were we actually, three of the four of us actually have known each other since we were 12 years old, and we grew up in the Bay Area, in the South Bay Area, California. But then we all, so we grew up together, and we all went to college together down at UC Santa Barbara. So we were down in Santa Barbara, and we were studying music down there. So we were in all sorts of different orchestras and ensembles and all these things. Like we were deep into it. But the band was always like, that was the one where instead of being in a classroom, we were in our garage, like doing what we wanted. So our name kind of came out of that. It was, the idea was like the Animal Liberation Orchestra, like come liberate your inner animal with us, So that, and the idea of the orchestra being, a little bit more like organized and formal. So it's sort of like where the wild and the organized meet. That's the idea for our band. So
Yeah, like a very juxtaposition, like very like conflicting like ideas,
yeah,
but it kind of works out, doesn't
yeah,
it?
totally. And it makes for some good imagery at our shows. People dress like animals sometimes.
No way. So
It's
we
been
might
known to
see.
happen.
All right,
Not
okay.
on the regular or anything, but it happens.
So when it comes to that juxtaposition, like how do you get that conflict into your music? Like how do you put that into your music?
Well, like uh in a way, all music is like a little bit of drama, right? It's like you start somewhere and you go somewhere and then you come back. So it's always in there in some way. I mean, we create our music uh a bunch of different ways. We're a band, so we're a collaborative project. There's four of us. We all write, we all sing. So we write together sometimes. Sometimes we bring in completed pieces of music that we show to each other and learn that way. A lot of the stuff on our most recent album, we have an album that just came out called Silver Saturdays. Came out on Brushfire Records, which is Jack Johnson's label. Yeah, and that one's more on the side of like us all bringing in our songs we wrote, kind of a little more songwriter style. But sometimes even within those, we work together to arrange them all together and kind of mess around with them. But sometimes in the past too, we've done a lot of just like straight up collaborative writing, where we get in a room together and just see what comes out.
Well, is it hard to do that? Because there are four very different people, trying to
Yeah,
come together to make this really one great noise or one great, not noise, but one great
yeah.
sound. How does that work out as, if you guys don't have the same vibe on that day or not really, meshing on a certain song?
Yeah, I think it's any kind of like collaborative process. It's kind of the same, be it music or anything, or be it, a couple, or be it like your workmates or your classmates or anything, like you kind of, you got to be like gentle with each other. You know what I mean? And be
Yeah.
giving. You've got to be giving and then be gentle. And then one of the things I've been noticing lately, I've been thinking about this too, even on some other gigs I do, is like like if someone asks you your opinion, you're always going to have one. But it's good to recognize when you have a strong opinion and when you don't have a strong opinion. And then it's good to recognize when other people have a strong opinion and don't have a strong opinion. Because sometimes, I might be like, oh, I would do this. I wouldn't do this like that. I would do it like this. But I don't feel super strong about that. And maybe someone else is like, oh no, it's got to be this way, to be right. Or vice versa, like I appreciate when I'm working with people and they can see that, like if I have a strong feeling and if they can recognize that maybe, oh, they might have an opinion that's different, but it's not a strong one, then it's good to go with the strong opinions in that case. Of course, there are times where you get dueling strong opinions and then you just got to work it out, and any collaborative thing has that. But I think that if you keep your mind on the former thing I was talking about not just your different opinions, but how strongly you feel about those opinions. And like I said, I think this goes for like couples, married couples, boyfriend, girlfriends, girlfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, all that stuff, all that kind of stuff too. It's like, it's really valuable for just like moving through things and growing. It's like, how strong do you feel about something?
So I think that you have another path on your hands. I think you might be going into therapy also.
Yeah.
So you're the musician, but I think you might be a therapist at the same time.
Okay. So like being in a band with most of these guys since I was 12 years old, it's definitely it's as much a therapy, personal therapy session as it is a musical project, right? Because we've been working together forever and we've known each other forever. And you know, whenever we're dealing with music, we're dealing with each other. So yeah.
Right. So your bandmates are really like your family.
Absolutely, very much so. I'm married to the manager, actually, even so. Really,
Yeah, I think I
even
noticed
truly,
that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. So we travel together a lot, which is great.
So
I love that.
I did see that you guys just started touring, or Ocean's Calling is your first stop on your tour. Tell us about the tour.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah, well, we've been out actually a bunch. We do a lot of we fly places and do a week of tour and come back. We don't. I mean, sometimes we do like a one long tour, but we're constantly touring. Like we're always playing shows. You know, and me personally, if I'm not playing shows with ALO, I'm playing with other people. Just last week, I was in Kauai with Bill Kreutzmann from the Grateful Dead, and the week before that, I was up at a festival with my own project, Lebo and Friends, up in Northern California. So like I'm constant music when we're all constantly doing music, and a lot of that is ALO music, but we never rest. It's what we do. We're musicians, you know. We're not just like, oh, we're gonna put out an album and then do a tour. Like that's not us. We're lifers. It's what we live. It's what we do. To me, it's the happy place to be, you know. Right. So we are going to a lot of places, but yeah, Ocean City is one of them, and then we're heading out to Colorado after that, and then we're doing another West Coast run after that, and it just goes on and on. It's great.
What are some of your favorite places that you guys have been to play?
You know, it's almost more about the crowds than the places, actually, I would say. The one that always pops into my mind is when we toured in Japan. I just love that whole scene over there. It's so different than a lot of the places we go, and the crowds are really great. And yeah, it's just great on many levels. So I love that. But I also love a hometown show. We just played the Fillmore in San Francisco not too long ago. And I mean, you kind of can't beat that either. You know what I mean? It's such a legendary room. It's hometown show. So yeah, I mean, you know, I like them all.
So would you say that playing on the West Coast is more of your favorite because you guys are from the West Coast, or you really just, like you said, it's
no favorite. I like it all. I love going to the East Coast too, but definitely different regions have different crowd culture, you know, I would say, and even different towns like LA is really different than San Diego, you know what I mean? And they're both Southern California. New York feels real different, you know, than the West Coast too. And I like it all, you know. It's to me, as long as we're in our zone, playing how we want to play, you know, which we're pretty good about getting into. I'm happy.
Music, as long as you're playing music in front of a crowd, it sounds like everyone's happy.
Yeah, as long as I'm playing music that I feel is good music.
Yeah, good music. It's different. Yeah. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So I do have a question about your music videos. I've noticed a lot of your music videos, or all of them, are animated.
Yeah, we've done a bunch of animated videos, actually, and that started back on our last album, actually, because a good friend of ours that we've known forever, who's an artist and a musician, actually, too. We met him first as a musician, but he's studied art, and he's like, that's his main thing now, especially. He started doing animation, and so we teamed up to do some videos with him, and we loved how they turned out. And then we've done some other, after that we did some non-animated videos, and then on this last round of videos, we have another friend who's that we've known in the scene up here in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, who does a lot of animated stuff. And so we teamed up with him for a couple videos for this last record. I think we did 3 sort of official videos. 2 of them are animated and 1 not. And yeah, I love how they turned out. They're fun. You can be so creative in the animation zone because it's kind of like, you know, it can be anything.
I'm sure it's really hard too, because what you think of as a music video and what your music means to you, and in your head what it sounds like and looks like, it's kind of pretty different than what somebody else might come across.
Yeah, Yeah, true. And it's even like interesting these days too, because there's just so, back in the old days, it was like, if you had a music video that, you'd have a handful of those. And that was the way people would see you if they didn't see you live. It was those two things, or an occasional, if you're doing an interview or something. But as far as musically, those were the two things. And now there's just like video of everything. It's like video of you practicing something in your bedroom. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different of a climate, I think, in that way too. Like, and in a cool way that then those specific videos don't need to define you, because there's like so much stuff. You can just kind of like pick something and run with it. Whereas I can imagine back in the old days, like for people making videos, maybe it would have been harder because there's like more pressure on it. There's kind of like less pressure on it because things are just like coming and going really quick now.
Right, right. So I do want to go back to the collaboration part. You had talked about collaborating with Jack Johnson. How did that come about?
We went to school together. We lived in the dorms together, actually, at UCSB. And so we got to know him then. And he had a band back then. But then his band stopped after the first year or so. And so he would come sit in with us all the time. And we loved his tunes. So we would back him up and be like, Jack, come sit in.
Will you have an opportunity to see him, because he is coming to?
You know what? No, we're not on the same day. Zach from ALO, who plays keys in ALO, he also plays keys with Jack's band, so he'll be there with him. But the rest of us are coming out. Zach and I have a show on Saturday down in Baltimore, actually. So I'm flying into Baltimore, and then we head up for our Sunday show at Ocean's Calling.
Where do you play in Baltimore? Do you know?
We're playing with this band called Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, and it's their like festival called Flock Fest. So Zach and I are going to do a set as part of their like thing. So it'll be fun.
Really cool. Yeah. Very cool. I want to take a look at the stuff you have behind you. Would you got some guitars behind you, some keys?
Yeah, I got guitars everywhere. They're all over the place.
Do you only play guitar, or do you have other?
Let's see if I can do this. The computer's all hooked in. I can't do it. There's this whole other wall of guitars. Yeah, I mean, I play lots of stuff, but mostly guitar, and actually mostly all I play in life is this guitar, which is funny. I got this room full of guitars, and I use them sometimes on parts of songs and stuff when I'm doing them, but 99% of anything you hear of me live or recorded is like this guitar right here. I've been playing it forever, since many.
Holy moly.
It's a used instrument.
Can you give us a little snippet of something?
Yeah, sure. Let's play. It's in tune enough. Yeah, maybe we'll do this song. I'll do down here. Said we got to try just a little bit harder. We'll let it shine just a little bit brighter. We got to walk just a little bit taller, 'cause I feel the sun, it won't bring me down. That's one of the ALO tunes. It's called Try. Maybe we'll hit that one. Hey, that was incredible. Song of the day. That was my little vocal warm-up for the day.
That was incredible. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be with you guys. We're really psyched for the festival. I can't wait for our set Sunday. We're actually working on our set list this morning, so we're getting some ideas rolling.
Oh, can you give us a little, like, I don't know, like top 5 that you're going to play yet?
No, it's all surprises. We got to keep surprises going. We'll definitely play some stuff from the new record. We'll play some of our classic tunes that everyone knows. Maybe we'll play that one that I just played there. But yeah, I got to keep it a surprise. We can't reveal our secrets yet.
All right. Okay. So we will see you guys on Sunday at Ocean's Calling. Everyone check out ALO, also known as Animal Liberation Orchestra. Thank you so much. And we will see you at Ocean's Calling.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's great to be with you.
See you.